not been built to bear it. The power of patience: by revealing pieces of yourself gradually, you give her the space to wonder, to inquire, and to lean in. The stories you tell become more valuable because they were earned, not her. Never try to fix her. Your instinct to be her hero, to solve her problems and heal her old wounds, is a noble one at its core. But in the context of a romantic dynamic, it is a fatal error. The smart man's approach: he offers a supportive space, not solutions. He listens with empathy, but he does not take ownership of her issues. He maintains his own emotional. The psychology: the fixer role is a parent-child dynamic, and you cannot be attracted to someone you are parenting. It also makes you responsible for problems that are not yours to solve, leading to resentment and exhaustion. A better way: your role is not to be her therapist, but to be her rock. Show her what stability looks like by being stable. A woman in chaos doesn't need a savior, she needs a man who is so rooted that she can find her own footing beside him. 5. Never neglect your purpose for her. This is the silent killer of you start dating, the chemistry is electric, and slowly, your world begins to shrink to fit her. The gym sessions get skipped, your business goals stall, and your friends see you less. Your purpose takes a back seat. The smart man's approach: his mission is non-negotiable. A woman is a wonderful addition to a life that is already full and meaningful. He integrates her into his world, he does not rebuild his world around her. The psychology: a man who abandons his mission for a woman signals that his core identity is weak. Women are drawn to a man who is on a path, because his ambition, discipline, and passion are inherently attractive. The paradox: the more dedicated you are to your own purpose, the more she will feel compelled to be a part of it. She wants to join you on your adventure, not become the adventure itself. 6. Never compete for her attention. You see her talking and laughing with another man. Your eager urge to jump in, to be louder, funnier, or more impressive to win her focus back. This is a trap. The smart man's approach: he remains unshaken. He doesn't see her attention as a prize to be won in a competition. He is so secure in his own value that he doesn't need to prove it in the moment. He might even engage the other guy in friendly conversation. The psychology: the moment you try to compete, you broadcast insecurity. You are saying, I see that other man as a threat to my value. A man of true value knows his worth is not diminished by another's presence. The ultimate power move: staying calm, confident, and engaged in your own enjoyment is the most attractive response. The man who doesn't flinch when her attention wanders is the man she can't figure out, and the one she can't stop thinking about. 7. Never outsource your happiness to her. This is the foundation of it all. If your emotional state is dictated by her texts, her mood, or her approval, you have given her the keys to your inner world. This is a heavy burden for anyone to carry. The smart man's approach: he builds his happiness from within. His joy comes from his accomplishments, his hobbies, his discipline, and his inner peace. A woman is a wonderful complement to his happiness, not the source of it. The psychology: neediness is the ultimate repellent. It places an impossible demand on another person to complete you. Wholeness, on the other hand, is magnetic. It invites someone to share in your already fulfilling life. The core question: before you commit to anyone, you must be able to answer yes to this: am I already complete and happy on my own? If not, no relationship will fill that void. Your power is born from your self-sufficiency. Never react emotionally to her tests. She might pull away, make a sarcastic comment, or flirt lightly to gauge your reaction. These are often subconscious tests of your frame, your stability, and your emotional anger, jealousy, or neediness is how you fail. The smart man's approach: he observes, breathes, and maintains his composure. He doesn't take the bait. He might respond with a light-hearted joke, a calm question, or simply a silent, knowing smile. The psychology: these tests aren't about cruelty, they are about her seeking reassurance. She needs to know, is this man's center of gravity within himself, or is it in my hands? Can he handle my emotions without being swept away by them? Demonstrating strength, by staying grounded when she creates waves, you show her that your mountain cannot be moved by her storms. This is the stability that allows a woman to truly feel safe and let her guard down. 9. Never apologize for your standards. You desire a partner who is loyal, kind, emotionally mature, and adds peace to your life. These are not preferences, they are the standards of a man who values his own peace and purpose. The smart man's approach: he holds his standards clearly and calmly. He doesn't demand perfection, but he demands alignment with his core values. Not tolerate, not as an ultimatum, but as a simple statement of fact. The psychology: a man without standards is a man. People will often challenge your standards, calling you intimidating or too picky, usually because your clarity reflects their own lack of it. Do not dim your light to the final act of self-respect. If someone consistently fails to meet your non-negotiable standards, you simply, and calmly, walk away. Your peace is sacred, and protecting it is your highest duty. Master these 9 principles, and you will stop seeking validation and start making choices. You will stop chasing and start attracting. This is the path to becoming not just a man who gets the woman, but the man who earns the relationship. You've understood the foundation. About recalibrating your actions and reactions. But master the internal shifts that dictate your external reality. The following 6 rules delve deeper into the psychology of self-worth, communication, and leadership. Integrate these, and it will be in your character. Let's continue. 10. Never confuse attention for value. In the modern world of constant notifications and social media validation, it's easy to believe that a high volume of female attention equates to high value. This is a dangerous illusion. Chasing attention is like eating candy for dinner, malnourished. The smart man's approach: he is selective. He understands that one meaningful, high-quality connection is worth more than 100 fleeting validations from people who mean nothing. He doesn't broadcast his life to seek likes or DMs, he lives it for his own fulfillment. The psychology: the thirst for external validation is a bottomless pit. It forces you to perform instead of being authentic. Real value is quiet, self-evident, and doesn't need to announce itself. A man who is truly busy building his empire doesn't have the time or need to be validated by strangers. The shift: stop asking, "How can I get more attention?" Start asking, "What kind of life can I build that is so compelling that the right people are naturally drawn to it?" Quality attention is a byproduct of a quality life. 11. Never tolerate disrespect, even in small doses. You teach people how to treat you not by your words, but by what you tolerate. A sarcastic jab disguised as a joke, consistently being late, or flaking on plans without a sincere apology are all subtle forms of disrespect. Letting them slide: the smart man's approach: he addresses disrespect early, calmly, and decisively. He doesn't explode with anger, but he does not let it pass. A simple, "That comment felt disrespectful, let's keep things positive," or "I value my time, so let's reschedule when you're sure you can commit," sets a clear boundary. The psychology: tolerating small disrespect signals that you do not value yourself highly. It gives a green light for the behavior to escalate. A woman's respect for a man is deeply tied to her perception of his self-respect. The action: your boundaries are the gates to your personal kingdom. You are not being harsh by guarding them, you are being smart. A person who respects you will appreciate. A person who fights your boundaries was never planning to respect you in the first place. 12. Never seek permission to lead. Leadership in a relationship isn't about control, it's about direction, vision, and the ability to make decisions with conviction. A common mistake is to defer every choice: where do you want to eat? What do you want to do this weekend? Under the guise of being nice. Of leadership. The smart man's approach: he takes the initiative. He doesn't ask open-ended questions that put the mental load on her. Instead, he presents clear, thoughtful options: "I've made reservations at that new Italian place you mentioned, or we could keep it casual and grill at my place. Your call." This is leading while still valuing her input. The psychology, because it shows a lack of vision and purpose. A woman wants to follow a man to a better experience, not drag him through one. Taking the lead is a form of generosity, it relieves her of the burden of always having to decide. The balance, it's about being the one who steers the ship. You can, and should, consider her preferences, but the responsibility for having a plan and making things happen rests on your shoulders. 13. Never fear walking away. Your greatest source of power in any negotiation, and any relationship, is if you know, deep in your bones, that you will be perfectly fine, thriving, even if this connection ends, you remove all desperation from your demeanor. There's every interaction from a place of abundance, not scarcity. He knows his value and understands that no single person is the sole key to his happiness. This allows him to engage freely, without the anxiety of potential loss. The psychology, the fear of loss is more powerful than the desire for gain. When you are terrified of a woman leaving, you become clingy, agreeable, and weak. When you are secure in your ability to walk away, you can be your authentic, uncompromising self, which is inherently more attractive. The reality check, the goal is not to use the threat of walking away as a tool. The mindset that your well-being is not dependent on her presence. This is the foundation of true confidence. 14. Never neglect your physical vessel. Your mind and body are not separate, they are one integrated system. How you treat your body is the most fundamental expression of self-respect. A soft, neglected body often reflects a soft, undisciplined mind. The smart man's approach, he sees his physical health as non-negotiable maintenance for the vehicle of his soul. Consistent exercise, purposeful nutrition, and quality sleep, self-love and personal leadership. The psychology, this isn't about achieving a bodybuilder's physique. It's about discipline, energy, and vitality. A man who is physically capable and energized carries himself differently. He exudes a primal confidence that is unmistakable and deeply attractive. The ripple effect, caring for your body improves your mental clarity, emotional resilience, and overall energy. It proves to yourself, every single day, that you can overcome discomfort for a greater reward. This discipline spills over into every other area of your life. 15. Never stop your pursuit of mastery. Complacency is the death of masculinity. The man who achieves a goal and then rests on his laurels begins to decay. A high-value man is not a finished product, he is a perpetual work in progress, always curious, always learning, always growing. The smart man's approach, he is a lifelong student. He reads, learns new skills, seeks out mentors, and embraces challenges that stretch him. His identity is not in what he has already done, but in what he is in the process of becoming. The psychology, stagnation is boring. Growth is exciting. A man on a mission of self-improvement is dynamic and magnetic. He has a spark in his eyes because he is engaged in a great adventure, his own life. This makes him an endless source of fascination. Your journey of mastery is the core of your identity. A woman, a career, a lifestyle, these are all things you attract by the person you become on that journey. Focus not on finding the right person, but on being the right person, and everything else will align. Masteries. Let them sink from conscious thought into unconscious action. This is how you stop playing the game and start defining it. This is how your partner isn't someone you need, but someone you proudly choose. Pay close attention, because once you hear these, you'll start seeing a pattern you can't unsee. You'll recognize it in your own actions and in the reactions you get from others. This isn't about learning tricks, it's about understanding a fundamental shift in mindset. These are the 9 things that emotionally intelligent, high-value men never do. And once you integrate them, you won't just master the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. And from that foundation, everything else follows. So, get focused. What you're about to learn has the power to change how you show up in every interaction. If you internalize this, you'll fundamentally change how you relate to others, moving from a place of chasing to a place of choosing. Now, before we dive in, I want to equip you with a deeper understanding. I've created a free guide, The Cornerstone Man, a guide to unshakable confidence and authentic connection. It's not about control, it's about building an authentic presence that draws people in. The link in the description or the pinned comment. Let's begin. 1. Never over-explain yourself. There's a vast chasm between communicating clearly and desperately justifying your existence. If you find yourself composing paragraphs to explain a delayed text, or detailing your reasoning for a simple dicky ground. The smart man's approach, he is concise and direct. If a woman asks, "Why didn't you text back?" he doesn't launch into a novel about his stressful day. Or simply, "I was busy." The key isn't the words, but the energy behind them, calm, assured, and unapologetic. The psychology, constant explaining is a scent of insecurity. It signals that you need her approval to feel validated. The moment she senses that, the power dynamic shifts. True confidence is quiet. It doesn't beg to be understood, it assumes its own validity. The balance, clarity builds trust. Over-explaining destroys both. State your truth with conviction, then let it stand. If she respects you, she won't demand a play-by-play. If she doesn't, no amount of explaining will change her mind. 2. Don't chase, attract. Chasing is frantic and desperate. The second you start bending over backwards, giving unearned attention, or altering your schedule just to impress, you have entered the chase. And it's transparent. The smart man's approach, he invests energy where it is reciprocated. He will initiate and plan, but he never doubles down on indifference. If she's in the middle, he doesn't double text or beg, he simply reallocates his focus back to his own mission. The psychology, people are inherently drawn to what is chasing. You teach her that your attention is cheap and readily available. By leading your own life with purpose, you become a magnet. Your energy becomes the prize. If a woman is genuinely interested, she will show up and meet your effort.